it is, you know, you get your full refund if it did not work for you. So that's sort of what I do, like share a little bit of my story and show them. And it's worked for two people. I've had two people who have been like, oh, you know, that's a good point, and have come around and purchased. So not everybody, but it works for some.
Yeah, and like we were saying, it might be the next month that now they're kind of prepped for that expense to come up and they really want it, then, you know, they might be more prepared the next time around. But and I think I forget also to really to mention that I mention it, but I don't really expand on it. This is a money back guarantee. And I kind of mentioned this in the video that I posted today. Wait a minute, you said that you wanted to lose 10 pounds, right? Like, I'm telling you, like, there's a money back guarantee. Like, I'm guaranteeing this is going to work. Would it be worth it? Would it be worth the $140 if you actually reached your goals? Not to say they're going to reach all their goals in 1 month, but I think anybody who's following that plan for that 30 days, they're going to see enough progress that they're not going to return it, because they're going to say, oh my gosh, this is working. I need to keep doing this. So I think that using that money back guarantee a little more, you know, a little more really, you know, expanding on, wait a minute, I'm guaranteeing this, where the company guarantees results. So using the money back guarantee. Anybody else want to share beyond that money?
Yeah, I will. Well, first of all, I just want to say that every single coach on this call has had price objections. So, and plenty of them. It's the, you know, the number one. So, and there's a lot of, a lot of people that I think it just takes time. Like, they have to watch consistently for a couple months, seeing other people, you know, share about their success and tagging you. And I think some of it is just that they really have to start, like, quote unquote, drinking the Kool-Aid, even though we don't want them to drink Kool-Aid. But they, you know, they need to see that you're in it as a coach, and that they can invest in you and trust in you, because they may know, you know, 6 other people that are quote unquote selling Beachbody, which is like I hate that term. But, you know, so first of all, I think sometimes they just need to see that you're ready, that you're really going to stick with this. And I think by sharing your own personal transformation pics, your own personal journey, talking about your own journey, whether it be with finances or what the programs have done for you, is a huge business builder. The other thing is, and I don't think anybody's mentioned this, but maybe I'm having some sound issues. Don't be afraid to go for the coaching opportunity either. Sometimes, I mean, that's got to be something that you decide, but I do sometimes when I'll be talking with someone about a challenge pack, a lot of times I will, you know, mention the idea of coaching, and I'm surprised at a lot of times at how well received it can be, when they learn that, you know, that would allow them to get their Shakeology a little bit discounted moving forward, and that they might be able to earn a little bit of money back. So that sometimes that price point, and you have to figure out what you're comfortable with, and as your business grows and as you get more and more comfortable with coaching, you'll get more and more comfortable with sharing that opportunity too. But that's another thing. That's another way that you can kind of bridge that gap. I also am a Dave Ramsey nerd. This was a huge, that's how Megan and I got to be friends. This was a huge investment for us. But you know, knowing when I signed up that I was going to at least get Shakeology a little bit cheaper kind of made hubby a little bit happier. So, you know, that's another side of it too, that you can also be investing in someone's lives that way, and they can change their finances that way. So.
Yeah, good point. To bring up the coaching opportunity. And now we don't train this way, but a lot of teams actually do train this way to really push the, hey, just get 2 more people on Shakeology and it's covered. They really push that, hey, you can, and a lot, that's a very MLM approach. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not the way I've trained. So you could really be like, you know, if you just were able to invite 3 others to do this, your expense is covered. So we'll move on from that because we have many more questions. I love this one. I don't do shakes, or I drink another shake. We could go on for a whole call on this, so let's keep it brief. I have so much to share here, but I'm going to stop and let someone else pick this up, because I was the person who was like, I don't do shakes. I eat healthy. I'm a fitness person. I know what I'm doing in the kitchen. But who would like to share here how they respond to that objection?
I'm sorry, Meg, can you repeat the question? I'm having sound issues.
Sure. If someone says, well, I don't do shakes, or I'm drinking XYZ shake.
Guilty. You want me to go?
Sure.
Well, that was me. I only signed up to do this because Megan was my friend and she was newly coaching, and I wanted to do T25 because her and I had done P90X together when she lived here in West Virginia with me. And I told her, I don't do shakes. I'm not into shakes. I can never drink those. And my postpartum after baby number 3 fog, I just ordered the challenge pack, not really knowing what I was getting myself into. That's how this journey started for me. But I said that. And so I actually love when I get that objection, because I can share with them that was my issue too, that I always didn't think I could do shakes. But what I try to do is share with them what's in that shake, educate them on Shakeology, educate them on the benefits. It's not just your protein shake. And a lot of times that'll be what people think. They're like, oh, I don't do protein shakes. Well, the best way I think to combat that is to educate them on the value of it, what is in it, what's not in it. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to educate yourself. So, watch a Shakeology, YouTube video by Darren O'Lean, or listen to one of the calls by like Shay Sanford and those that are really, really educated on Shakeology, and educate yourself, because then you'll be much more prepared to kind of combat those, when people say no, to kind of have something to go back on, and you'll be a lot more confident when they start to object. So just make sure they know it's not just a protein shake. That's mine.
Thanks, Andrea.
I like to get a little bit deep into why they say that. Like I'm like, oh, I like to really get to the root of the issue. So I had someone say that to me recently. I'm like, well, why don't you? What has been your holdup? And when we got deeper, I figured out that she was on one that had, artificial sweeteners in it. It was giving her a headache before. So, if we're not so defensive, because a lot of times we put up that like, whoa, well, if you don't take it personally and you get to the root of the problem, a lot of times you can overcome those objections easily by figuring out, what the cause is for them saying that. I think that a lot of people have had bad experiences with different shakes, and there's a lot of them out there, and that are not like Shakeology. So, and then the other thing is discussing, that we live in a culture that is go, go, go. And even the best of cooks, like I would consider myself a cook, I don't have time to always get in my daily nutrients in food. So I think, talking about, again, going back to you and how it's worked for you and your lifestyle, and how, most people that you're attracting are like you, so they can relate to you. And I think that helps people realize that, okay, maybe I can at least give it a try.
Thanks, Jen. I love that what they're saying is, and here's something to approach all objections with, and I hope you all are taking notes. All objections, no matter what they are, the feel, felt, found method of approaching objections is a way that people are going to feel like they're heard, and that's ultimately what we want, is to build relationships and for people to know that we actually care about them, and we're not just trying to sell them a product. We want to set ourselves apart from other organizations or cultures that are just trying to sell products. So the feel, felt, found approach is, feel, empathize, like, Jen was saying, what their concern is. Like, they have a legitimate concern, even if you don't agree with it, for some reason, that's the perspective they're coming from. So you have to try to understand, feel, what they feel, and relate to your own feelings if you had the same objections or concerns in the beginning. So feel it first, and then feel, felt. Is that the right? Feel, felt, found? Feel, felt, found. No? I don't know. I may not be saying that right, but the bottom line is you want to empathize with them. And then you say how you found. So I must be missing something somewhere, but here's what I found. I hear what you're saying. I felt the same way too. And here's what I found after, drinking Shakeology or whatever that the objection might be. So, relate to them, but make sure that they know that you're hearing them and that you're not just going to, like Jen said, be on the defensive about, well, this is better than your shake because X, Y, and Z. So really just listen. Anybody else have anything to share beyond that?
What I found was the fact that most of the time I'll go back to their why. So I'm saying, well, you said you're really busy, and this would definitely replace one of your meals as far as meal planning goes. If you still have objections or you're still, concerned, I'd be happy to give you a sample that you can try. And so that's usually, and I try to really stress that I purchase these samples. So if you're really interested, I would love to give you one, and I'll provide you a menu, or, we'll sit and blend it together, and if they're local, and we'll figure out a way or a recipe that you really enjoy, and then we'll go from there. And I still do encourage the 30-day guarantee, but I usually reach back to their busy schedule. I'm like, you're complaining that, you don't have enough time, and this would absolutely, with your busy schedule, provide at least one meal that will cover all the nutrition that you need, give you the energy to get through the day, to get your workout in. So I try and really to work on that aspect as well.
I think, yeah, and I think what she did is she listened to their why. She was hearing them. She's took the time to know what their concerns were. She heard that they had, they're busy, that they have no time to eat, because that's everyone's complaint, or their excuse for not eating well is they're just so busy. So she's hearing that, and she's responding to that, and then saying, yeah, I purchased this, so that's putting value in that Shakeology. That's not just a free sample. She's providing it complimentary, but she's creating value around Shakeology. I love that. Okay, good talk. Let's see. What next? What's a good one? There's some in here that I could just do a whole call on. I like this one, and I'll just touch on it real quick. Wouldn't clean eating and exercising on my own be enough? That was where I was at. Wouldn't clean exercise. But like Jen was saying, nobody can eat perfectly. Nobody who even is like super, super healthy can eat perfectly every day. And quite honestly, how hard is it to get all those nutrients in one day on a daily basis? Like, it's just impossible in our day and age. And there's some people, certain schools of thought that our current, produce is not as nutrient dense as it used to be because of the way we've stripped our soil and GMOs and et cetera, et cetera. So, however you feel about those things, I think that's I'm going to keep that really short because we have so many other objections to get to. Most of this is about money. Okay, this is one, where is it? I thought was interesting. I have to think about it because I don't like to put a lot of stuff in my body. Is that the one? That was from Stacy Denny. I wanted to ask you about that one. Stacy, you had that objection. You said
That injunction needs to be held. So.
Who's that? Stacy, I have a question for you. You had this objection, and I wanted to ask you more about this. You said someone said they don't want to put a lot of stuff in their body. What does that mean? Sorry, I didn't know I needed to call you out about giving you a warning.
It's okay. I don't know. That's just a girl I was talking to yesterday that I sent an invite to. She, that's what she responded back to me, that she would have to think about it because she doesn't like to put a lot of stuff in her body. I guess is under the assumption that the shakes are something crazy. I don't know. So
that's that we need to ask more questions and find out what they mean by that, because a lot of times people just don't know what you're talking about, and so we'll just ask more questions. Thanks, Stacey. I was just thinking about that one. There are a lot of times you're just going to have to ask more questions and get to the root of what that concern is, because sometimes they're not telling you the whole story. Okay, thanks, Stacey.
I would actually send them the video. I would send them the video of Shakeology and everything that's in it, and talk about the fact that there's no chemical fillers and that it's coming from all organic ingredients. And, if this would answer her questions, and if she still had hesitations, maybe follow up after she watches the video.
Right. Like Andrea was saying, become pretty educated yourself on this product. You really should know. I don't expect you to know everything. There's 70 stinking ingredients in there. Like, that's a lot to know. But you should have a good handle on how to talk about this product. So I want to talk about some coaching objections. And I'll just touch on this one really quickly because I'm probably the only person who has firsthand experience. Where did it go? Somebody asked, what percentage of coaches actually earn full-time incomes or six figures? Well, we do have, some full-time earners on our team. and I'm going to be real brief here. Yes, there is a huge income opportunity behind this. And this is something that you can say to people. And I'll let others chime in who are earning a significant income. Yes, there's a huge opportunity behind this. We have 10 minutes. We could do an hour on objections. Income opportunity behind this. However, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. There's really no such thing. And perhaps there are network marketing companies where you can earn quicker cash, in the short term. I had a stint with Pampered Chef for like 3 months where I earned like $600, like $1,000 in like 3 months, which is crazy. But I wasn't passionate about it, and I didn't want to do that forever, and that's the kind of the bottom line. Even though there's a huge income opportunity behind this, those people who do go on to earn full-time incomes are people who are really committed to the cause, not people who are coming in for an income opportunity. And like I was, this is not a get-rich-quick kind of opportunity. This is a get-rich-slow, as opposed to what we're currently doing, which is a get-rich-never. So, yes, you're working for pennies a day in the beginning. Yes, you're working for nickels a day. You're not seeing that fruition, but only those who are committed to this on a consistent basis for, a year plus and beyond are earning the full-time incomes. It's just too few people will get to that point because they give up too soon. They give up. They don't trust the process. Only those who trust the process and commit to the system earn those full-time incomes. We have firsthand examples right here in this team of people who have just stuck to the systems, stuck to the process. I know some of you are on that brink. You're like this close to seeing that snowball effect. I know many of you. I see many of you on this call who are like hitting Success Club every month, doing your power hours and growing your team consistently. And you're not seeing those full-time incomes yet, but I promise you it's coming. I promise you. You keep doing what you're doing and it's coming. And sometimes it's discouraging in the beginning because you're like, I'm not seeing, if you love this and you continue to do it without concern for money, the money comes. It's when you concern yourself too much with money and it doesn't come. So yes, what percentage of people are doing 6 figures? I really don't know. It's a very small percentage. But probably nobody who's been doing it for 2 to 3 years and doing it consistently and hitting Success Club isn't. Just too few people are willing to go there. It has to come from here. Does anybody have anything? I mean, like I said, there's a few of you I know who are earning legitimate incomes. Would you guys like to chime in on this question about money, about career, your feelings, how you approach these questions?
Sure. I think it's a difficult conversation to have, and obviously it gets easier as my business grows because I have more personal experience and more personal things that I'm learning, and I now have business builders who are making close to a full-time income as well. So I can talk about how it's duplicatable. But like Megan said, I think, I just got added to the wall, which is, and just like being a 5-star diamond coach and above, like it's kind of opened up my eyes to the bigger, to really what Beachbody is as a company, more even than just this little world that I had kind of created with my friends and family. And the biggest difference is just what Megan said. I think people just aren't willing to stay in it long enough, consistently enough to see that magnification and that growth. A year in, I was giving this a year in. Success Club 5 All-Star, 12 months consecutive Success Club. My income wasn't that extraordinary for the amount of work that I had put into this, but it didn't matter because I love what I do. It didn't really matter to me. This wasn't why I was doing that. But now, 2 years in, I'm exactly 2 years in, and I'm thrilled with the growth of my business, and I'm very humbled by it. So and I still live it. And I have a bigger team, but I'm not necessarily working any more than I was then. I'm just working so much more efficiently and so much smarter, and things change. But I don't, and Megan used to tell me that. I would be like, I can't manage a big team and do all of these things on top of just growing my own business. I'll never be able to balance all of this. But it evolves, but I don't think people are willing to stay in there long enough to see that impact. And please do. If you're on the call tonight, you're clearly passionate about what you're doing, and you want to grow your business. And if you just stay with it, I don't get 30, 40 Success Club points a month. I'm like I just hit Success Club 10 All Stars. Like I'm just a consistent girl, but I'm really, really starting to see that magnification. And I'm not working necessarily more than I was back at the beginning. I'm just working more efficiently and smarter and doing things, as your business grows. So just stay in there. That's all I have to say. It will come.
I have to head out in a minute because I have to hop on another call. So I'm going to let, Katie, Andrea, and Jen kind of take from here. There's only 4 minutes left. But I do want to add something else. And Jen, I'd love for you to share because, Jen, has replaced her teacher salary with this business. So I'm going to let her chime in. But here's one thing I'll add before I sign off myself. If someone's asking that question from the beginning, I'm going to have big concerns if they're not right for the team anyway, if that's their first question is about money. If your first question is about money, you're never going to see those 6 figures because you don't care about this enough. So, if you're looking for a money opportunity, it's there, but let's start here. So, okay, I'm going to mute myself and hop on another call. Thanks, ladies, for taking over. Thanks, you guys, for being here. I mean, just the fact that you're here is a lot about you and who you are as a coach and your commitment to this business. So thank you for hopping on.
I'll answer that one as well. I was talking, I don't remember who I was talking to, maybe Megan a few months back about why certain people persist and make it through and keep pushing through the hard times, because we do know that this gets hard at times. And the one thing that we all had in common, and this was, I was reflecting because I had hit my teacher salary, making my teacher salary back, is that we're all really stubborn people and don't want to fail at what we do, and we will persist until the end because we're just that stubborn. And I do think that there's something to be said about that. I think that if you really want this to be your full-time career, you're going to be stubborn enough to hang in there when it gets hard. And you're going to keep those emotions in check when you hear no. And you're going to keep those emotions in check even when something goes really well, because I think that it's so important that we stay even keel, because this business is like this all the time. I'm going through a little lull right now with my invites, but I know that in 2 months, this lull that I'm having as I'm inviting is going to lead me, I was here and here and here and go down a little bit, but the next step up is going to be even that much greater. So if you can be that stubborn, it's worth it.
All right, I'll just finish up. When I get and kind of talk about the other side of this, when people are asking about coaching and how much money I'm making, and is it really enough to replace an income? I personally don't have any problem sharing what I'm making. I always tell people that I'm kind of a slow steady. I'm not afraid to say that, and I tell them it's not good, get rich quick. I tell them what I was making when I first started, even if it was $25 in a month. I tell them what I'm making now, but I'm very clear that it's taken 2 years of working every single day to get there. So I feel like if I'm very open and honest with them, that's kind of helped me. And if they are in this, like what Megan said, if they just want to make, a full-time income right off the bat, then I don't really want them on my team anyways, because they're not going to stick it out. I've been there with a couple girls and they don't. So
yep.
We're probably about to run out of time, right?
Yeah. So if you need anything, you know where to find Jen, Katie, and I. You can tag us in the group. We're happy to help. And thanks so much for getting on the call. Love y'all. Have a good night.
Night.